Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Absolute Beginner's Guide to Minecraft. And we're going to have a look at our health today. We've got 10 hearts on the bottom left there of our screen, above our hotbar, where we have our items in our hand. And on the right, over here, just above here, we have the hunger. And over here on the left, we have the hearts. The hearts are 10, the hunger haunches are 10 little meat popsicles. And each one makes up for 2 points. So you've got 2 hit points in a heart and 2 food points in a haunch. Okay? So you've got 20 points of hit points and 20 points of food points. Does that make sense? Let's just illustrate it. See the way I lost half a heart there? That's 1 hit point. Okay? And if I hold on for a while, I'll lose more. Now, see, I'm half a heart down, but it'll regenerate over time when my hunger is full and my saturation is full. You may have noticed my hunger haunches started jumping there. That was when the saturation went down. Now they've gone down half a haunch already. When you see that slightly decaying piece on the side, that means I am now no longer at 20 food points, I'm at 19. And once I go below once I go below 18 points, now I've got 18 points now, I won't regen. So I'm regenerating there, but now I've gone down to 17 and a half food points. So I won't regen anymore. So, watch, nothing. I've lost a whole heart, it won't regen. So if I continue to lose, I will of course die when I lose all of my hearts. And I won't be able to regen unless I eat. Or maybe use a potion. Now, see the hearts? They're getting up there quickly. When you've got saturation, you will regain a half a heart in half a second. So that's handy. So let's lose our saturation again. How do you lose saturation? Well, you lose it like hunger, through exhaustion and through the regeneration of your hearts, which quickens your exhaustion. You will lose a food point. 4 exhaustion points is a food point. It's quite confusing. Just notice the relationship between food and hearts, basically, and your movement. So the more you move, the more you're going to lose through exhaustion. The faster you move, the quicker you're going to lose hunger. Sneaking now also is half the exhaustion lost than you would from walking. Yes, it's kind of confusing. But notice, I will lose more hearts here. Okay, I'll bring myself down to half. Okay, now, and my hunger is down 3.5 haunches. If I was to eat, with the steak I have, I can regain the 4 haunches, and I will have saturation, and that will last for a while. So let's do that. But it will go quicker once I'm regenning quickly. See? I'm regenning quite quickly, and when my saturation goes, it'll slow down. So it's starting to slow, and you'll see the meat haunches jump now. See? They're jumping for the simple fact I've lost saturation and the hunger is going down. And my regeneration of hearts has slowed. They'll keep, now they won't go anymore. They'll keep regenerating as long as I've got 9 full haunches. But once I go down to 8.5, no more regen. Okay, so that's simple. That's fairly basic. You lose health, you get more hungry as you regen, but you won't regen until you have at least 9 full haunches, and you'll go quicker if you've got saturation. So that'll go quicker. Okay, so half a heart in half a second, as long as you've got saturation. Once the saturation goes, then it's a little bit slower, but you will regen naturally that way. I'm running out of breath. I'm underwater. I'm going to drown. These are natural things. You know, you learn these things when you're young. You're told, stay away from deep water. You could die. Also, stay away from fire. You know, the basics. You've heard them all before. Please don't let me die. And of course, you know, the cactus, they're prickly. They hurt. Ow. The usual kind of things. Don't fall from heights. Don't get knocked around by zombies and shot by skeletons and blown up by creepers and, you know, your usual thing. Don't let sand or gravel fall on top of you. You get suffocation damage. Okay? Now, you see I've got 2 hearts there and my hearts are jumping violently mad. When your health goes down to 2 hearts or 4 health points, your hearts jump more like that to warn you. Imminent danger. Death approaches. Okay, so let's recap. We eat and we replenish only our hunger and our saturation, and our hearts will regen at 1/2 heart or 1 health point in half a second. Okay, so that's great, and we will continue to regen that way until our saturation is gone. Now we lose 1 food point basically. Or 4 units of exhaustion per unit healed. So that's per point healed. There you go. Watch this. Okay. So that's basically the, what would you call it, the formula. It's 1 health point per half second once you have saturation. Okay, so we're fully healed, full saturation. Let's take some instant damage. And that should take us down a couple of hearts. Right, 3 hearts gone. And see how they renew in half a second. That's great. So if our saturation goes, it's actually taking a food point. It's taking 4 units of exhaustion per food point. Per half heart healed. It's kind of tough, but it's easy enough in a sense. Does it make sense? Let's take an instant damage too. Now, let me see. Yeah, there we go. The half heart per half second. It'll slow. Now the saturation is gone. It'll slow down. There's saturation gone once the food pops start to jump. And it's every 4 seconds now when the hearts renew. Okay, and it's still costing that 1 food point. 4 exhaustion points per half heart healed. It sounds confusing, but it's fairly simple. And once we go below the 18 haunches of food, well, 9 haunches of food, 18 food points, then we stop regenerating naturally. We could regenerate using instant health potions. Instant health 2. Let's just take some of our hearts off here. We won't regenerate because we've got, let me just take it down to half a heart. All right, we take this one. We should regain 2 full hearts. Okay, and this one we should regain 4 full hearts. So there's ways of doing it once you haven't got saturation, once you haven't got hunger, and you can't do it naturally. Likewise, as I say, with the instant damage, it takes hearts off. Regen. If I take a potion of regeneration at 45 seconds, that should bring me up almost to full. Watch it. It goes up fairly slowly enough, but not too bad. Right? So it's like healing without the saturation. Kind of along those lines. Maybe a tiny bit quicker, but it should bring us up to the 9.5 hearts. It should give us 8 hearts in that time. In that 45-second time frame. If we took the 1 minute 30, this version, we'd get the whole way up. Okay. So there we go. We've got 7 seconds, 6. You can see it flashing. We're nearly there. And that's it. And potion's gone. Okay. If we do the same with the regen 2 pot, which is half the time, but it goes quicker. So you can see and the hearts start to go that little bit quicker, regenerating, and we get up to the 9.5. So we regen 8 hearts over half the time. So it's better in speed, especially if you're in a battle with mobs or indeed other players. So there you go, back up, and the potion's gone. Poison, of course, will do damage. We'll take poison and poison 2 just to see how they work. And I'm not regenerating time, so here's the poison. So it slowly ticks away, pop, pop. It'll bring us right down to half a heart. It'll still have time over. There's plenty of time. Okay, we're down to half a heart, ticking away. And if I were to eat now, it would be fighting against that. It's still working away. The poison's still there. I've still got 6 seconds of it. So it's fighting against it, even though it's building up. It's still fighting against it. Okay. And then I start to regen naturally again. Slowly, because I've got only, and you see my food is being depleted over time. So you've got that relationship between health and food. Just take down again. It's a symbiotic relationship. Splash potion of poison 2. This is quicker. It lasts half the time, but it's quicker. Now if I were to eat again and get my health up, see how quick this constant tick tick tick. We don't get our health up quicker this time. See, really takes us down. So, and I can't even eat now. See, because there's still saturation there. Now it's starting to go. I can eat again. And the poison is gone, so that's grand. I'm starting to recoup. If I get another one. There we go. Fairly up there now. Let me just give myself another splash of this and see how far we'll go. It's much quicker, but at least it only lasts half the time. And it only takes us down to the half a heart. Even though we're in difficult mode, hard. Yeah, we're in hard. I just wanted to show you that you can run once you've got more than 3 hunger haunches. Okay, but once you hit 3 hunger haunches, you can't run anymore. So that's another thing you want to consider when you're dealing with hunger. Okay, I'm changing my difficulty to easy. And we're going to get ourselves starving here. So I'm just going to jump around a bit. I've got half a haunch left. And if I can wear that down, then you will see we will start to starve. And you'll see how it affects our health. Every 4 seconds, we should lose a half a heart. Health point, 1 health point. So every 4 seconds, we keep doing that. Okay, so there we go. And our little meat pops are jumping like mad. They're jumping crazy. It's the craziest they've ever been jumping. And I see every 4 seconds, we're losing hunger. And if we don't eat, you know, we're going to have problems. We're going to keep losing hearts. So on easy, though, you'll notice something. It'll start to just stop. It'll start to stop. Here we go. It'll leave us at 5 hearts. That's how much it'll bring us down. We won't lose any more hearts now. See? That's as low as we'll go on easy. Okay? Now, if I take it up to normal, the hearts will again decrease every 4 seconds, and it'll bring us right down to half a heart. Soon, we'll be sleeping with the fishes. Okay, here we go. 1/2 heart. There we go. Another 4 seconds go by. Nothing. We're safe. We're fine. We're okay. Now, if we go into hard difficulty, of course, where options, normal, hard, it'll be bye-bye. There we go. You starve to death. You know, you don't make it. That's it. Other than a healthy diet, what else can we do to keep our health up? Well, you've seen we've made potions and we've used those, the instant health and the regen, and that helps. And we can do that with beacon effects as well. We can also craft a thing called a golden apple, which is very tasty and very good for our health. Now, you see down here where I'm very hungry and over here I can't regen my health. Well, if I eat this apple, in 5 seconds, it'll give me 4 health points. That's 2 full red hearts. So I'll come up to 2.5. And it will also give me absorption for 2 minutes. And with absorption, we get absorption hearts. 2 of them. 2 full ones. Little golden ones over our red ones. Watch this. Yum. Okay? They're little golden ones. Well, okay, they're yellow. But they will stay there. And there's our 2.5 in 5 seconds. Right? We're good. And of course, we've increased our hunger a little bit there. Or, sorry, our hunger. We've increased our hunger bar a little bit because we've eaten an apple and some gold. Yum. Now, if I was to walk into this fire, which of the hearts do you think will go first? It's the yellow ones. Okay? But if I hang around for 2 minutes, they will just disappear. So it's a minute 25 seconds to go, and they will just disappear normally. But they will be the first ones to go if you're in battle or you're in any situation where you're going to lose hearts. I'm going to wait now and let it just dissipate. So there we go. 10 seconds. 9, 8. Absorption is going, and you'll see this little yellow heart disappear when the time is up. Watch. 2, 1, and she's gone. There we go. Okay. So they are not permanent hearts. They're only what they call absorption hearts. They're good for battles, so you time your eating of your apple and you will make it good. Okay, if you're lucky enough to find one of these enchanted golden apples in your world, then you're in for a treat. And boy, are you. They used to be called a notch apple. They're now called an enchanted golden apple, and they're not craftable anymore in 1.9. Used to craft them out of a red apple and blocks of gold surrounding it. So now you can only find them in treasure chests. This guy will give us 16 health points in 20 seconds for our red hearts, right? That's 8 full red hearts. It'll also give us 8 full gold hearts, 16 health points of absorption. Now it also gives us another couple of things along with it. Okay, there we go. See? You've got regeneration 2 for 16 seconds. You have absorption for 2 minutes, the resistance for 5 minutes, and fire resistance for 5 minutes. It's pretty good. Yeah. And all those lovely gold hearts. Of course, they operate in the exact same way as the others. There we're up to 8.5 hearts now. That's our 20 seconds done. If we take damage, they go off the gold. Oh, we've got fire resistance, so we're not going to take any damage. Let's go over here. This will take a while. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So the gold hearts will go that way, and likewise, when the time runs out, they'll just disappear. But they are pretty cool for a fight. All foods have different values. They replenish different amounts of your hunger bar and different amounts of saturation. And then, of course, there's raw food, like raw chicken, that might, we're lucky, might give us hunger. See? There we go. We get a certain amount of hunger. And that actually, as we move around, it makes us hunger quicker. Makes us hunger quicker? It makes us hungry quicker. It might replenish our hunger a little bit, but it also takes it down again too. So not the thing to be doing, eating raw chicken. Likewise, zombie flesh, rotten flesh can do the same. So it's brought us back up, and we at another bit. It's brought us back up there. So both things to avoid, and you can see the change on our hunger bar. It's got a funny sickly color, and it's fairly going down. So you can see our hunger depletes a lot quicker when we're hungry, when we're suffering from the hunger. Oh boy. Suffering from the hunger. Okay, let's have a look at some of the foods. Just a little quick glance over some things. Here I have a cookie. And as you can see, it only gives me 1 haunch. And it wouldn't have much saturation. Let's see how long it takes for that bar to go down. Start jumping again. Now there it goes. That was pretty quick. Okay. So I have to take a raw beef steak. That gives me a hunger haunch and a half. And let's see how far we go before that goes down. Shaking. There we go. Starting to shake. Not too long. Okay. A raw potato. Only half a haunch. And again, a little bit of jumping around. And there he's down. That was pretty quick. Okay. So a baked potato. 2.5. Okay. I thought it was 3, but seems to be 2.5. And again, a bit of jumping around. And we've got a bit more saturation than the other ones. See? Very good. Not bad at all. So you can definitely see the difference with the saturation. There we go. It's starting to jump, and we're losing food as well. Now, let's take this baby. Pumpkin pie. Let's just go down a little bit further, shall we? Just to make sure. Let's go down another one. Okay. 4 full haunches. But you will notice a little bit of jumping around. It won't be too long. Saturation wise. Won't be as long as the baked potato anyway. It's not far. Not bad. Thought it was much worse than there we go. Okay. That's pretty good. It's a lot better than I thought. I'm going to eat a steak. Cooked, of course. 4 full haunches and... that bug! That bug, I hate that bug. We'll eat another. Whee! Okay. As you can see, we still have pretty good saturation. And we should have for some time before it starts to click. Jumping around quite a bit. Yeah. I just want to show you that some foods have better saturation than others. Good, isn't it? It's boring watching this, but it's good, isn't it? Oh boy. Yeah, I think you get the idea. Come on. Bounce already. No, it's good. It's very good. Of course, if we were to take damage, it would go all the quicker. But you see, that's pretty good, isn't it? Steak, cooked steak, is one of the best foods you can be eating. There we go. Saturation's going. Okay. Golden carrots would be better than those. Yeah, it sounds kind of funny, but they're expensive. You get the idea. Okay, just to show you at night, you know, when you can sleep, I just want to leave the bed. Okay. The sun's going down, and I'm just going to change my difficulty to normal. Just take it off hard because I don't want to die here. I just want to starve a bit more and show you that there's something else you can't do while you're starving. Come on, hunger haunch, go down half. Come on, you can do it. Okay, we're starving. And there we go. It's going down every 4 seconds. As before. Watch this. See? We're chucked out of bed. We can't sleep. Okay. Back into bed. Help. Please let me sleep the night away. There are monsters around me. Help. Please. Okay. It's impossible. If you are starving, you cannot sleep. Just to let you know that. Okay? So if you're surrounded by mobs and you think, well, I'll get a good night's sleep and in the morning it'll be peaceful and then I can get something to eat. No, it's not going to happen. Sorry. Just before I go, I just wanted to go back over a little bit with the food poisoning. And the whole point of it is that when you eat a chicken, whoa, mind that first step. Oh, it's a doozy. If you eat a raw chicken, you don't necessarily get food poisoning all the time. It's a 30% chance of getting it. And there you go. I had 2. Oh boy, am I lucky. I get it every time. You can counteract the poison effect, the hunger effect, should I say, with drinking some milk. Get rid of that. And again, there's an 80% chance of getting food poisoning with rotten flesh. So there's a good higher chance of getting that. And of course, if you've got a puffer fish, let's just drink some milk, get rid of that. If you've got a puffer fish, well, you shouldn't eat these at all. But that can give you food poisoning 100% of the time. Yep. It also gives you a terrible, terrible headache. Oh, look at that. Oh, how horrible. Oh, no. Please. Look at this. So what do you get? You get nausea 2, hunger 3, and poison 4. I was going to say 5. So not the thing to be eating. Not the thing to be eating. Now, that's basically it. If you want to stick around, I've got a little bit more after the credits. If you really want a good visual display, that's what those will are in the background. If not, see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. All the best. Bye! Let's just do something a little different. We're going to have a look at, let's say, a mock-up of our hunger and our health. These red ones are going to represent our hearts and these green ones are going to represent our hunger. The yellow ones over here on top are representing the absorption hearts that you would get from eating a golden apple. And we're going to use the lighter green, the lime green, to represent saturation. Okay, so let's see, can we do that? This might make it a bit more easier to understand visually. So we eat a cookie, and it will give us 2 food points and 0.4 of saturation. Now already we're going to get into difficulty here. Okay, so let's say our food was down 2. Now how are we going to create that? Okay, we just eat a cookie and it's put up 2 of our food points. Let's just do it right. Okay, now it's also given us a bit of saturation. Not exactly 1 block, but just imagine just a little under half of 1 block, which would represent the 0.4 in the saturation. So that would have to go before your hunger would start to deplete again here. Do you get the idea? It's a bit like these extra hearts when you eat an absorption apple, and you get those, and they will have to go before you start depleting the red hearts. Okay? A half a heart, a full heart. Get the idea? Does that make sense? It's a bit more visual. Okay, let's go on to an apple. 4 food points and 2.4 saturation. So again, it would give us 4 green ones and 2.4 of that. And then let's go on to the likes of bread. It would give us 5 food points, which would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2.5 of the haunches. And how many was it? 6. Was it 6 saturation? Yeah, 6 in saturation. So 3, 4, 5, 6. So like 3 haunches in saturation. And so on and so forth, as the saying goes. So that makes it a little bit easier to understand. And as you can see, rabbit stew will give you 10 food points. So that's 5 haunches. That's quite a lot. But quite a lot goes into making rabbit stew. It also gives you 12 saturation. So, you know, it's pretty powerful stuff. And then pork and steak, both the same, will give you 8 food points. That's 4 hunger haunches and 12.8 in saturation. And then a golden carrot, as I mentioned earlier, will give you 14.4 in saturation, although it only gives you 6 food points. Pretty good stuff, though. You know, when you consider the saturation levels of a golden carrot, it leaves you, you know, at full and satiated for longer. Now, with that information at hand, let's try and explain the whole thing with healing. Once our saturation has something in it, it's full, we have full health, all the green, we've got some saturation. Once that's happening and we lose health like this, it builds up. We get the red one. It builds up quickly. Every half heart builds up like this in a half a second, while the satiation is there, while there's saturation, okay? And while we have full health. Now, what happens? Of course, you don't have to have full health. If you only have up to there and there's still some saturation there, and you're down only 1 haunch, you'll still get that half building up every half second. But if it goes below, if you've only got 8, and even if you have some saturation, that won't naturally regen. It'll go down and it'll stay down. Okay? Now that makes it a little bit more visually easy to understand. Now with all that information, let's try and understand what happens when our health is regenning versus what happens our food. Okay, so we've lost, say, 4 hearts. Okay, now what happens? Once we have a full hunger bar and we've got some saturation there, this is what happens. We start to build up. So every half heart, every food point, every half heart takes a food point off. And that's 4 exhaustion points. This gets a little bit tricky, but let's pretend we don't know anything about exhaustion, and we'll stick with the ratio of half a heart, a half a second, and losing a food point. And then our saturation is gone, so we're going to lose time here in building up the rest. So it's going to be every 4 seconds instead of every half second, and we're going to lose a food point. 4 seconds, lose a food point, and so on and so forth. Now we'll still regen here if we needed it, because we've got 9 full haunches. But once we lose it down to 8.5, then we won't have any natural generation. So that's a tiny bit easier to see the relationship to food and hearts. Now with exhaustion, that's a whole different game. 4 points of exhaustion is 1 food point. Now typically you lose just walking, you lose say 0.01 0.01 exhaustion, and running, that will be 0.1 exhaustion. Sneaking is only 0.001. It's half of that, so it's 0.005. Yeah, that'd be right. Maths. Oh boy, you don't really need to go into all that. Just know that the more you do, if you break a block, if you fight, if you run, if you swim, if you walk, crawl, whatever, run through the water, it's all going to expend energy. You get exhausted, and this is what happens. You lose food, you lose health, so on and so forth. I hope that's of some use to you. If not, well, you're in the wrong place. Alrighty, bye bye. See you in the next one.